So far in this hockey game, Jigs, the LA Kings have wanted to have Gretzky out against Bernie Nichols' line. That was the matchup they wanted. They wanted to go power against power here and thought that that would be the best way to play it. Of course, with the power play just over, Gretzky out for that full 2 minutes. Nichols will be out there, but I don't think Gretzky's line will be.
No, LA is going to come back with a different unit. McIntyre's forward line. We look again at Tom Webster. We're going to build him a new arena here, apparently. Word in the LA Times the other day that Dr. Jerry Buss, who owns the Lakers, and Bruce McNall, the owner of the Kings, are going to build a new forum right here on the parking lot. One that will cost about $150, $170 million, seat 19 to 20,000 people. Then they'll pack this one up and ship it to Jack Kent Cooke. No, I'm just kidding.
Isn't it something when you think of this beautiful building and they will just take and demolish it, make parking spaces out of it?
You got to get me a piece of this, no matter what it is. Having been here the day it opened, around for some of the fun years here.
They'll probably give you the whole thing if you want to take it.
No. What would I do with it? Put it in your backyard, maybe.
No thanks.
No, you wouldn't like this?
Well, listen, with all the relatives, I couldn't fill it.
Well, Mellenby trying to jab at a loose puck in front of Kelly Rudy. Got knocked down, as you see, and the Kings come up the right side. Kadelsky clearing it out towards center. And it shot right back in again. Edmonton regains the blue line. The Kings clear the puck out through the middle. Length of the ice. We'll get an icing call against Los Angeles as Brian Glynn touches up. Oh, Jay Miller with a late hit. And naturally, they go right to Miller. He knocked Jeff Smith into the boards heavily. Smith, who has played, I think, only one shift in this period, favoring his left arm.
Yeah, it would appear to be his left shoulder, Jigs, that he's favoring. It could be the arm. He got tied up with Jay Miller. They were going down for a loose puck. It was on an icing play. Jeff Smith trying to tie him up there in the middle of your screen. You see them tangling. Jeff Smith fell to the ground. Fell to the ground, sure, Ed. Fell to the ice. See that Miller just rode him heavily into the backboards.
Los Angeles penalty to number 29, Jay Miller. 2 minutes for roughing.
Miller for roughing.
17 minutes exactly.
That's a big break for the Edmonton Oilers. LA has not played a smart period so far. They have not created too many scoring opportunities. All of the good scoring chances have gone to players on the Edmonton Oilers side. Klima, Damphus, Tikkanen hit the goalpost. They had a couple of good scoring opportunities, but only 2 shots when they had a 2-man advantage.
Edmonton sending out Nichols with Damphus and Murphy as the forward line. Manson and McIver on the points. John McIntyre in the middle with Bob Kadelsky to the right. They're the forwards for LA. Kadelsky has been on the ice for 6 of the 9 Edmonton power play goals in this series. He is out there to try and kill this. Nichols on the draw. It's won by McIntyre. The Oilers flood the near side of the ice, but the Kings come up with the puck. Kadelsky plays it off McIntyre and down the ice.
When that play works, it's wonderful. When it doesn't work, you're in big trouble.
Now they'll start out here, led by Norm McIver, the 27-year-old defenseman, with a pass to Nichols. Marty Nichols pulls to the right. Centered one in front that was tipped by Marty McSorley. McSorley didn't get it out of the zone. Here's McIver off the right point. Faked once, then gave it to Manson. Long shot. Rudy the save. McSorley hammered the rebound right to Nichols. Back to the net to Murphy. Murphy can't get it out in front. Damphus does, feeding it to McIver at the point. Or McIver to Vincent Damphus. Back to McIver. The Damphus takes once, now lets it go, and that missed the net. Manson over on the left side. The former Chicago Blackhawk sets up Bernie Nichols. Nichols wants Damphus, couldn't get it to him. Manson with a shot blocked by Rudy, and Kadelsky has trouble getting to the puck, then does clear it.
Big clear, Jake, because it gives the LA Kings a chance to get some fresh penalty killers on the ice.
They've had 2 shots on Kelly Rudy thus far, this Edmonton team. Donato and McIntyre up front now for LA. 45 seconds left in Miller's roughing penalty. Diver through center ice. Works on Blake. Can't get through, however, and then a big hit by McIntyre. McIver bumped a second time. McIntyre's pass to Granato. 1 man back. He shoots. Just missed. Well, he chewed up Brian Glynn and then missed the net with the shot. Running here is Peter Klima. 24 seconds left in the Edmonton power play. Klimas, big handling through center ice across the LA line with a pass that didn't get to Mellanby. It is taken out of the air, cleared by Blake. Up ahead, Donnelly is across the line. Donnelly shoots, picked up by Ranford. And the penalty has 7 seconds to go as the Oilers come down 2-on-1. Beacon in a drive, and it dribbled away off Coffey's stick. All Coffey and Klima end up on the boards. Mellanby there as well, and the puck is frozen just as Miller's penalty comes to an end. The crowd applauding the LA penalty killers, and so they should.
Well, they were very aggressive, Jigs, as penalty killers, with Tony Granato getting a good scoring opportunity. Skating so much better. Los Angeles here with the threat of an Edmonton power play. Kelly Rudy with 1 save so far. 1 stop by Ranford, that of course off Granato. But no score in the period so far, thanks mostly, as far as LA is concerned, to the goaltending of Kelly Rudy.
55.7 seconds remaining in this opening period. Face-off will be in the Los Angeles zone to the right of the net. That's John McIntyre talking to Paul Coffey. First periods overall in the 4 games played have been even. Each team has scored 6 goals. Each team has scored 5 in the second periods. And the only difference is that the Kings have outscored the Oilers 5-4 in the third periods that have been played.
Outside of the second game, game 2, the 8-5 win by Los Angeles, the scores have been pretty close.
And they've bought a little more time. The clock has been cycled back to 58.0 seconds remaining in the period.
Well, we often remind the people watching the hockey games that the official time is not the one up on the clock at center ice in most buildings. It's on the off-ice officials' bench.
Kevin Lowe hit the pipe as the Oilers won the draw, got it to Lowe at the left point. Twice Edmonton has hit a goal post in this period. It's another statistic that maybe will be kept on a regular season-long basis. 40 seconds remaining now in this opening period. Cavish has been knocked down, tied up with Coffey, and the puck comes to the near boards, taken by Tony Granato. Granato with Dave Taylor to his right, Robitaille to the left, and 3 Oilers back. The pass is to Taylor. Closing it off right wing. Taylor tried to put it in front, did. Ranford makes the stop, and just coolly covers the puck to make sure that it goes no further.
The close checking of the Edmonton Oilers, Jigs, are very determined, disciplined in their own end of the ice. You could see the players picking up the white uniforms as Tony Granato carried it across Edmonton's blue line, not giving the Los Angeles Kings any skating room in their own end of the ice.
Now the Kings are going to make a late change as you look at Kelly Rudy. Wayne Gretzky is coming out along with Tony Granato and Luc Robitaille.
Excuse me, Jigs. I talked to Steve Weeks, the backup goaltender for the Los Angeles Kings, at length this morning. I was asking about Kelly Rudy and the number of times in game 2 that he seemed to be down groping for loose pucks, and he said it's not really unusual. He does that a lot, but he said what was probably more unusual was the fact that there were so many loose pucks around the net. Well, it just didn't seem that he had the handle on it. He'd be reaching for it, not getting a hold of it.
Yeah, a lot of diving and flopping around that night. His pads must have weighed a ton after the game. He'd scooped up so much ice. Snow. 25.3 seconds. You see the time remaining. Opening period. Oilers have had 11 shots to the Kings 8. On the draw, the puck went right to Bill Ranford. Held by the Edmonton Oilers. Kelly Buchberger moves it up to the blue line. Hansen, there on the right side, is over the line. It's knocked away from him, runs right to Buchberger. To McTavish as he goes back to the net, then turn. Kings try to clear it out and succeed. Oilers take a look up at the clock. Hansen won't have time to go anywhere with it after touching up. That will bring about a face-off. Well, now the horn sounds rather than the whistle. There was a little pushing and shoving going on at the Los Angeles blue line. The referee is satisfied that the period has come to a close. The Kings file off, headed for their dressing room. Neither team able to score in the opening period. And the shots on goal by the Edmonton Oilers, 11 by the Los Angeles Kings, 8.
Face off to the left of Joseph, which Lemieux wins to Marchment. Carried it into the corner. Lemieux jammed it out of there and shot it wide. Now Cavallini leads Basson. Bob Basson over the hawk line to Rich Sutter with a rich shot, and a save by Belfour. Now he plays it to Brent Sutter, but he held it long enough for the whistle to sound. Exactly 3 minutes remain.
The Blues 6-4. St. Louis has pulled their goalie in the waning minutes. Let's rejoin Pat Foley and Dale Talon.
The regular season, the Blackhawks averaged about 37 shots against the Blues. 37-28 was the shot advantage. They had a 40-shot advantage in the first 4 games. The Blackhawks got a 20-shot advantage tonight. And Curtis Joseph, man, he's been outstanding, and the Blues still have a fighting chance. .38 shots allowed per game by the Blues, and they're 38.3 in the playoffs. They're beaten the shot total by San Jose, an expansion team, and this year in the playoffs, no one has given up more shots. Curtis Joseph has been brilliant. These aren't easy long shots either. A lot of them have been 2-on-1 breaks in the third period. But the Blues have been doing well with the face-off situation.
And the face-off will be to the left of Belfour here. Again, Hall is behind Ron Sutter, hoping to tee it up. Brent Sutter. Now Ronnie kicked it to Hall, who lets it go. Belfour the save, gave a rebound. Emerson couldn't get to it. Shanahan centered. It came to Jeff Brown, who shoots. And a save by Belfour. Rebound loose in the slot. Smith wants to freeze it. He does. Oh, the Blues get a couple of chances again because of a face-off win. Ronnie Sutter been very effective at something his older brother often does, which is tie up the stick and kick it back to Hall.
Two keys for the Blues in this playoff series. Their goal.
22 Stanley Cup playoffs after this time out on Sports Channel America.
Wait for score updates and join other close games as they happen. Third, stay tuned for the late game. Fourth, tune on again tomorrow night. Sports Channel America.
6-4. There's 36 seconds to go in the third period. Once this game is over, we'll take you back to the Great Western Forum, period 2, the Oilers and Kings. Now we take you to Chicago Stadium. Here's Pat Foley and Dale Talon.
Full face-off.
A full face-off. Face-off this time to the right of Belfour. It's taken by Telio. Clearing it around to the near side. Graham couldn't get it out. Bouncing puck right to the goal. Mountain. Belfour smothers it before Chaney could get there. And Smith and Chelios want to make sure Chaney can go no further. And everybody gathers around, but now they separate.
Finally, they win a draw. They do it right, and they can't get it out along the near boards. It bounces to the goal mouth. Belfour very alert with the glove. Shanahan had 7 goals in 8 games in the regular season. Now has 2 in the 5 games in this series.
The Blues goals have come from Shanahan, Hall, Bozon, and Brown. For the Blackhawks, Mateau, Larmer has scored 2, Lauer, Chelios, and Lemieux. Half a minute remaining in the third period. Detroit has stayed alive by shutting out Minnesota 3-0, so that game is 3-2 in favor of the North Stars. Vancouver jumped out to a 3-0 lead in their effort to stay alive against Winnipeg. Now it's the draw to the in behind the Hawk net. Chelios whacked it around the boards. Brown kicks it ahead, and then Ron Sutter couldn't get rid of a shot. Puck loose out to center. Larmer is knocked down on top of it there, and 13 seconds remain, and now Chelios and Emerson collide. Here comes Shanahan in there. It is happening well after the play was stopped. And a very alert read by the linesmen here, Asseltine and Scampanello, to keep everybody separated. And Chelios, I think, will be given a penalty here.
The Hawks win 2 draws in a row. This one was won by Jocelyn Lemieux. And the second attempt by Chelios finally worked. First time Brown did a good job of keeping it in. Then Larmer and Lemieux were able to get it outside the line against Jeff Brown. And then as the whistle blew, Chelios hammered Emerson for some reason, and he'll get the lone penalty, a roughing penalty. And the Blues will get a token power play here with 13 seconds left. Make it an 8-4 power play discrepancy. First penalty since the 15-second mark of the third period. Only had 5 penalties in the first, 4 in the second, and only 2 now in this third period.
And the face-off will be at center. It's taken by the Blues. Jeff Brown to Nelson Emerson. He'll fire a long shot. Belfort loving it. Lays it around the boards. Lemieux couldn't get it by Emerson, but the Blues are going to run out of time, and the Hawks have won.
Well, Lemieux went after Emerson twice, and then Basson wanted to get at him. And a good read here by the officials, too.
All right, so Chicago takes a 3-2 lead. They win that one 6-4. Meanwhile, at the Great Western Forum, Edmonton gets on the board. 47 seconds into the second period. Esa Tikkanen with the blast and the goal. And the Oilers are heading on to the power play with a 1-0 lead. Here's Jiggs McDonald and Eddie Westfall.
Cover your men, pick them up in the center ice area, and players tend to sometimes, particularly in playoff hockey, overextend that thinking and take bad penalties.
Here in Los Angeles, Luc Robitaille is in the penalty box for the Kings. The Oilers lead 1-0, and we welcome those of you who have been watching the game between the Chicago Blackhawks and the St. Louis Blues. Chicago winning that. Here, Edmonton is up 1-0, and a goal by Esa Tikkanen. The Oilers on the power play. Tikkanen with the puck, centered to Klima. And ends up putting it in the corner. Honey around the boards and out of the zone. Back goes Brian Glynn. Glynn, number 6 for Edmonton, to the right side. Tikkanen. Give it to Mellanby. Puts it behind Kelly Rudy's goal net, and the Oilers rolls in but can't regain control of the puck. Now they do. Tiger got it back of the net. Hoggood off the left point here. Looks to Tikkanen. Back into Hoggood. To Tikkanen. Unloads immediately. Through a screen. It was blocked. Rudy was down. Now Klima centers. Loose puck in front. Donnelly in traffic. They can't get it out of the zone. This is Hoggood. Hoggood rounds the net. Puts it out in front. Rudy down to cover the low ice. Makes a dazzling stop off Mellanby.
Fine hustle by the Edmonton Oilers, Jiggs. Hoggood that time. Down deep, circling the net. Kelly Rudy thinking that he was going behind the net with the puck. He tried to come back out in front, stuff it in the short side. Well, Edmonton here on the power play, giving the Los Angeles Kings a lot of problems. Take a look. There's Hoggood streaking in the background, and now he looks like he's going to go behind the net. Then he reaches out, tries to do a wraparound. The puck is in front of the net, and there's Kelly Rudy down, groping, trying to get a hold of the loose puck.
Edmonton setting up their power play again. Manson on one point. Or McIver is on the other. Bernie Nichols is between Domfus and Murphy. John McIntyre will go in to take the draw for Los Angeles. And Edmonton wins it. Manson just shot it wide. McIver off the right wing boards. More McIver puts it back in the net. Murphy gets checked there. Tim Waters for the Kings moves it around to the right boards, and John McIntyre clears it the rest of the way out of the zone. Kadalski and McIntyre up front. 40 seconds remaining, and Robitaille's holding penalty. Edmonton on top here by a score of 1-0. The pass up the middle to Murphy. Murphy across the line, cuts the right wing, pulls up on Waters, feeds the blue line. McIver sets up Manson on the left side. Dave Manson plays it around the boards toward Joe Murphy. Tom Cruise at one side of the net, Nichols at the other. Now they back away. Once more it's Murphy to McIver. Back to Murphy. Murphy shoots that one wide. Big rebound off the boards, and Gretzky slams it outside the blue line. 8 seconds remaining in the Edmonton power play. Manson dumps it in around McSorley. It's cleared out of the zone by Granato. Oilers recover at center ice. Dave Manson with a long shot that's wide of the net. Waters chasing Nichols as he closed in after a loose puck. Nichols gets rubbed out by McSorley. Now the Oilers recover again. Unable to make the play at the blue line, however. McSorley chases a loose puck. Marty McSorley across the line. Gretzky trailing the play. McSorley puts it back in the net. Here's Granato with a backhander that's turned aside. Robitaille steps in front of McIver, feeds it to Gretzky. Back to the point, Coffey unloads, that drifted wide. Now McSorley puts it on, and off the stick of Robitaille. Granato with a weak shot. Robitaille hit the post, a delayed penalty, he scores! Gretzky! Wayne Gretzky banged in a loose puck, we're tied 1-1.
$16,000 plus fans jumping up and down here in the Great Western Forum. Pressure by the Los Angeles Kings. Granato thought it was in, but it wasn't until Gretzky shot it off the pads of Bill Ranford from a sharp angle. There was the deflection. There's Tony Granato. His shot blocked. Luc Robitaille one-handed off the goalpost, but then it was Gretzky putting it off Ranford's pad, and it slid in behind him. That gave the Los Angeles Kings a 1-1 tie. Wayne Gretzky, his first goal in 12-plus playoff games.
And with that, an all-time record again, 94 postseason goals, most ever by any player. He'd been tied with Jari Kurri for the Stanley Cup record of 93 playoff goals, till that one at 4:02 of the second period. Jari Kurri, of course, out of the lineup with an injury. Robitaille and Granato get the assists. The game is even at 1-1. Now the puck out of play, and they'll have a face-off coming outside the Edmonton zone in just a moment. We're early in the second period, 1-1 at Los Angeles.
Cavaracci is out. The first shot against Bob Essenza. And it's Doug Lister with his first goal of the playoffs. Larionov and Bure with the assist. 6-0 in the second period.
We're up to date on what's happening at the Pacific Coliseum up in Vancouver, British Columbia. Here at the Great Western Forum, the game tied 1-1. The Kings in the white uniforms trimmed with silver and black just tied the game at 1, and now they're back into their own zone. Kevin Lowe went for a loose puck, and he put it out in front. The play broken up. Kings cleared towards center ice. McIntyre to Kadowski over the line with 3 Oilers back, and Kevin Lowe, in his first game of the series, just reached in and knocked it away. Edmonton will set up deep in their own zone. That's Richardson playing it around the boards to Lowe. Kevin Lowe flips it out of the zone. Kings recover at center ice as McIntyre dropped it back, and now Huddy with Miller relaying it. The Kings force it right back into the Edmonton zone. Ranford plays it to the right side. Ray was in, but couldn't handle it. Donnelly shoots it back in. The Kings get the play onside again. Getting up back in the net was Richardson. The Oilers tried to give it back to him. It didn't go. And then a King tumbles to the deck, and the crowd yelling as Millen gets back to his skates. Here's Charlie Huddy in the center ice zone. Huddy takes a bump from Buchberger as he put the puck in the zone, and it's cleared right back out towards center ice. Up with it is Sandstrom over the line. Long shot. Pad saved by Ranford. Donnelly drops it back. Corey Millen comes out of the corner. Around Lowe. Shoots. Big save. Millen went for his own rebound and got checked. Here come the Edmonton Oilers. Down the right side. Domfus cuts to the left. Trying to cut in on Huddy. Centered, and Donnelly was back to recover. Mike Donnelly plays the boards. It's held in here by Coffey. Puts it back of his own goal. Huddy will make the exchange with Rudy. And then around to Donnelly. He gets checked. Up with it is Charlie Huddy. The pass is to Karjalainen on the right side. Cuts into the middle. Dropped it back smartly. Millen cuts in with a shot. Glove saved by Ranford.
Los Angeles Jigs are starting to pick up the pace. They're starting to skate much better. They're starting to do the things they talked about doing before the game and didn't do in the first period. Ever since the first goal by Tikkanen to make it 1-0, and their backs up against the wall a little harder, Los Angeles comes flying back. Coaching staff telling me throughout this series, every time this team gets into a tight spot, they start to play better. I don't know what it is, why they feel that they have to dig a hole for themselves before they start to play their game plan. There was the shot a moment ago, a wrist shot by Corey Millen. See Ranford a little off balance, stretching out to make the save.
Now Wayne Gretzky will move in to take the face-off against Tikkanen. Tikkanen pushes Gretzky away from the puck. The Oilers recovered, then Hansen got taken down. Sandstrom put it in the slot. Nothing doing there, and out steps Mark Lamb. Over to Klima, the pass broken up and cleared back. Alloa moved it to the right wing boards. Kings recover there with Blake beating Sandstrom. He's over the line. Dumps it around the boards. Ranford cuts it off, left it for Manson. Abe Manson will clear the zone, and the Kings have to go all the way back for it. We're 6.5 minutes into the second period at the Great Western Forum. Lamb and Blake pawing at one another out in front of the net as the Kings come up the right wing boards. Here's Sandstrom. He drives on Manson and shoots one that's deflected up into the colonnade. The second level here at the Great Western Forum. Game tied 1-1. We'll be back in a moment. No, not Ed Westfall. The Armed Forces Radio and Television Service is celebrating the Big 5-0 this year. And this game, like so many before it, is being seen by our servicemen and women stationed worldwide. Happy birthday to Armed Forces Radio and Television Services from all of us. McDonald, Westfall, and our Sports Channel America crew here at the Great Western Forum. Little indecision as to where they would face off the puck. It's going to be just inside the blue line as you look over the shoulders of the Edmonton Oilers, and especially centerman Tikkanen. Tikkanen will face off here with Tony Granato. Lamb is on the left, Klima's on the right for Edmonton. The Kings got the draw. Waters sets up Halliwan. His long shot juggled by Ranford. They bang at it. Ranford down, and the puck stays just wide of the net. Big chance there for the Kings, and they fail to capitalize. Now Robitaille jabs it back, held in. Halliwan plays it around the boards. That was Thompson, rather. Robitaille gets tied up. Granato after it. Tony Granato knocked to the ice, and Peter Klima turns it right back in front of the net. There's Robitaille, centered one. And it's cleared by McIver.
Los Angeles continue to hustle, Jigs. Offside call that they let go.
And now the Oilers dump it down the ice. Waters back to touch it. And an icing call against the Edmonton Oilers.
Well, you can see that the Edmonton Oilers get confused. They get running around in their own end of the ice with pressure from the forwards of the Los Angeles Kings.
Customer service booth in the Whistle Stop Tunnel if you need additional cheer cards.
Mentioned with this younger LA lineup, you're looking at one of the true veterans now, or elder statesman, if you will, person of Tim Waters. But with Karjalainen in the lineup, and with Thompson taking Robinson's place, that man's team is much younger. Their average age drops from something like 28.9 to 25.8, I think it is, Ed.
That's a big drop with two players inserted into the lineup.
Make it 26.7 from 28.9, but still it's about a 2-year average.
Well, Brent Thompson is 21 and Karjalainen is 25.
McSorley over on the left, Gretzky in the middle. Wayne Gretzky with Sandstrom to his right, lines up for this face-off. Buckberger won the draw. And the Oilers try to clear it out. Brian Glynn to Buckberger, now to the far side where McTavish gets a stick on it. McKee is checked, and here's a chance for Sandstrom. One man back. He shoots into the pads of Ranford, and it bounced to his left. He turned the other way, but fortunately his teammates got back to bail him out. McKee, Greg McTavish dumps one. It bounces toward Kelly Rudy, and he just dives out to cover it. More pushing and shoving after the whistle. 12 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in this second period.
That's Baranek, who wanted to tip Charlie Huddy over backwards over Kelly Rudy.
Bill McCreary would appear to be taking one of the Oilers to the penalty box with him. He's got a high sticking penalty on Craig McTavish.
Guess they don't like the Oilers in this building. I guess they don't like anybody that comes in to play against Wayne Gretzky and the Los Angeles Kings. But now they're happy because they're announcing now that McTavish is in the penalty box with a high sticking penalty.
2 minutes, high sticking.
Los Angeles will go to the power play for the third time in the game. Ed Green sends out his penalty killing squad.
If I have time somewhere along the way, I tell you Ted Green's story. He was telling us this morning at the skate about the time his wife Pat had him babysitting their youngest, his son. And he went golfing, left the son with his mother, right? Went home, put supper on. Pat came home from work. His wife comes home from work. Nice supper cooking. Said, "Where's our son?" He forgot he left him at the mother's house.
Oh, man.
Dutiful father. Well, I've been gone for 6 or 8 months playing hockey. I'm not used to kids.
Well, he's got a bunch of kids to coach here, and he's done a tremendous job this season with the young Edmonton team. The Kings set up in the power play. There's 99, looking to 77. Coffey. Gretzky can't get it to Coffey. Nice heads-up play by Mark Lamb of Edmonton. Coffey turns it up the boards. The Kings in the middle of a change and a two-line pass called offside.
Boy, very unusual to see Wayne Gretzky have his pass intercepted. You could almost read it from here what he was thinking, and Mark Lamb read it perfectly. Tikkanen out, one of the penalty killers now, but Lamb staying between Gretzky and Paul Coffey was able to tip it out into center ice, and then from there everything got worse. Two-line pass creates the stoppage of play.
Still 1 minute and 27 seconds remaining in the Edmonton penalty against McTavish. Tony Granato out in this power play with Gretzky on the right side and Robitaille on the left. And Paul Coffey and Rob Blake as the defense combination. Edmonton killing it off with Dom Foose up front, along with Joe Murphy, Kevin Lowe, and Luke Richardson, their defense combination. The Kings get the draw. Blake beating it across to Coffey. Paul Coffey chased behind the net. Away from Murphy, and now brings the puck up the middle. Murphy chases him. The pass to Granato. He's across the line. Dropped it to Gretzky. Couldn't get it through traffic. Murphy throws it down the ice.
Wow, you have to close your hand of the puck in order to do what he did, but I guess the referee either didn't see it or didn't think it was that blatant.
He has already had a discussion with Wayne Gretzky about the lack of call. Meantime, Sandstrom rushes across the Edmonton line. And centered out in front, nothing doing there. There was Coffey, not Sandstrom, excuse me. And Blake drops back. Passes to number 99. Here's Gretzky. Got it to Robitaille. Trying to play it through traffic. Robitaille had his pocket pick. Blake held it in. Now it's knocked away from him. It's loose outside the line, and Buchberger moves up. Kelly Buchberger with Robitaille tugging at him. Robitaille has knocked him down. Ford along the boards, won by Robitaille, and out comes Granato. 20 seconds in this power play. Granato is across the Edmonton line. Gave it to Gretzky. The pass it escapes, now back to the point. Here's McSorley, lets it go, and that's deflected. Out in front and is grabbed out of the air and held by Ranford.
10 seconds is all that's remaining in the penalty to Craig McTavish. Ranford hanging on the puck smartly. Power play again of the Los Angeles Kings going absolutely nowhere. Some pretty good penalty killing, but they're so disorganized. They just don't know what to do. Moments ago, Coffey grabbed the puck, did his usual thing going down deep. This is the action where Ranford picked the puck off and held it. Coffey went to go behind the net, and you know how he can generate speed. He has speed anyway, and he was generating more, and his defense partner, Blake, stepped in front of him, and he had to stop in the reverse direction, almost as if Blake was a forechecker of the Edmonton Oilers.
All the little things not going well. Laurie Millen with Karjalainen on the right side and Donnelly on the left for Los Angeles. Tikkanen will come in to take the draw for Edmonton. 1-1 is the score. Teams were scoreless through the opening period. Tikkanen scored within the first minute of the second period, and then Gretzky just after the 4-minute mark. Tikkanen is going to be waved out by linesman Kevin Collins. No, he allows him to stay. Buchberger had started to move over, but now he lines up on the right side. Kevin Collins puts the puck in play. The Kings have control of it. This is Donnelly. Donnelly feeds the point. Waters tipped it outside the line, and it's shot right back in by Brent Thompson. The penalty is all over. Kings did not have a shot on goal with the power play opportunity. The game tied 1-1. At center ice, McTavish broke up a Los Angeles rush. Now the Kings recontrol. Donnelly is over the line, got checked. Now stepping in is Millen. He shoots just wide. Corey Millen ripped one. Didn't find the net, and the puck ends up in the far wing. Donnelly can't get it to a teammate, and the ricochet back into the zone for Waters. Center ice, Corey Millen chases a loose puck. Brings it across the Edmonton line with a feed here. Donnelly shot, hit the outside of the net, bounced in front. Ranford has it safely tucked away in the catching glove. Buchberger and Granato, or Maley rather, and Granato in a little tussle, nothing serious. 9 minutes, 44 seconds remaining in the second period. We'll pause now for a regional break. You're watching the 1992 Stanley Cup Playoffs on Sports Channel America.
You, my friend, can use some fun. Big fun. Las Vegas, Atlantic City, cruise ships. But you got to take this along, the Players Club card. It's going to save you a lot of money. 25 to 50% off fabulous resort hotels, 25% off meals and drinks, up to 50% off shows and entertainment. Come on. Call Players Club for much more information free. You're too smart to pay full price.
New members get 2 free nights in Las Vegas or Atlantic City when the club books their flights. Call toll-free now.
At 16:24 of the second period, Winnipeg finally gets on the board. Evgeny Davidoff with the shot, Ed Olczyk with the deflection. Goal number 1 for Winnipeg. Then 57 seconds later, it's Aaron Broughton with the puck around Kirk McLean. He tucks it in on the far post. Vancouver in front by a score of 6-2 late in the second.
Oilers rushing the puck into the Los Angeles zone. Their play broken up. Peter Ottawa trying to move it out. Could not. Here's a chance in front. Oh, what a shot by Maley, and the rebound kicks out in front after coming off Rudy's pass. The Oilers trying to regain control. They do. Richardson shot one from the line that didn't get through, and Rob Blake sends the Kings to center. Got it right back. Nice give and go, and then he feeds it to Kudelski. Centers one that's turned aside by Ranford. McIntyre puts it back in the net. Kevin Lowe comes up with a loose puck. It's jabbed away from him. The Kings look for the open man. Can't center it in time. Nice recovery by Lowe. And the Oilers come to center ice. Baranek here on the left side will cut to the right as Mellanby brings it over the line. Scott Mellanby tied up. And a big hit delivered by Blake on Hoggood and allows Kudelski to recover the puck. Kudelski trying to chip it out of the zone, put it up into the Edmonton bench. And one of the Kings is down on the deck, getting up slowly. Jay Miller just now back on one skate as Pete DeBurge, the longtime trainer of the Kings, come out to attend to that man.
He's a pretty good actor, Jake, so it's hard to tell whether or not he really did get hurt. I guess he is. You can see now that he's limping. I've seen Miller do this a couple of times where he was trying to draw a penalty for the opposition. Obviously this time he is hurting. He's scouting along the bench of the Edmonton Oilers. I always get a kick out of watching Bernie Nichols stand as he is right now talking to the linesman. Looks like his feet are too big for his legs. He looks like a little kid, you know, with his helmet. His pants seem a little too long. His feet seem a little too big, and his legs a little too skinny. Here's some of the action. There's the Edmonton Oiler, Jay Miller, as he gets spun around and knocked to the ice. Baranek, I believe, was the player of the Edmonton Oilers that got a piece of him.
Miller still limping back of that bench, as you see. LA already without Larry Robinson. Bruised ankle after being struck by the puck. Knee injury for Yari Curry. That was suffered in Game 3 of the series in Edmonton. Game 6, by the way, is scheduled for Edmonton, as you well know. It'll be played on Tuesday night. And if there's a 7th game in the series, it'll be here at the Great Western Forum on Thursday night. Again, the puck in, and this time out of the Edmonton bench.
Thomas Sandstrom shot it into the Edmonton bench. I don't know that it was deliberate, but it could have been. He likes to agitate. You can agitate a whole lot of people with one shot when you shoot it into the opposition's bench.
That catch somebody at the Edmonton bench. A lot of the fans down there standing up as if one of the Oilers has been hurt. And now Peter Klima's come over to the bench to take a look as you look at the Polka Boys.
Well, they keep it simple, though, don't they? You and I could probably do that, Jake.
We'd have to get a third to make it look that good, though, wouldn't we? Oh, there they are up in the corner.
Yeah. First time I saw them, I couldn't figure out where they were. They're here.
I don't want her, you can have her. She's too fat for me. Yeah, this is Stanley Cup playoff hockey, and a big hit delivered on Paul Coffey. McIver pulls up back in the net. Lost it, and there was Manson to help out. This game tied 1-1 as Peter Klima rushes across the Los Angeles line. Look at the speed, and then Huddy got to him. Klima and Huddy back in the net. Klima has the puck again. Behind the center, took not as Coffey closed in on him. Paul Coffey got it to the line. McIver held it in. Kings trying to move it up the boards. And this time they do get it out of the zone. It's a bounced off McSorley. Gretzky with it down to McSorley. Let it go through. Play broken up at the Edmonton line. Huddy waits. Shoots it in. Sandstrom gets the play back on side, and the Kings go for a player change. Now a delayed offside being called against Los Angeles. Still 8 minutes remaining in the second period.
Los Angeles Kings and their fans are getting mad. Here's one of the indications. There's Paul Coffey coming across the blue line of Edmonton. Stick between the legs, spins him around, knocks him to the ice. Most cases that's a penalty, but not in this hockey game.
In this period, the Los Angeles Kings have had 10 shots on goal to the Edmonton Oilers 3. 1-1 is the score. Just under 8 minutes remaining in the period as the Kings control the puck. Here's Rob Blake with it. Blake driving on Hoggood, played it to Robitaille. Fires, didn't get it through as Glynn went down to block it. Connolly gets tied up in the corner. The puck loose back to the Edmonton goal. They play it around the near boards, and Robitaille gets a stick on it. Sets up Blake. Long shot from the point. Well outside the net, it was grabbed and dropped off. Ranford getting it to Lamb, who's cleared it, and it's shot right back in by the Kings. Ryan Glynn back in the net. Chased by Dave Taylor. Glynn goes to the left wing. Domfus moves it up ahead. And lets it go to Murphy. Oilers fail to penetrate at the blue line, and Lamb gets knocked down. Kings come up with the puck. Here's the veteran Dave Taylor off left wing. Taylor trying to cut in, gets chased back to the net. Taylor pulls up, trying to get away from Hoggood. Put it in front. Ranford pulls it back into the catching glove as Taylor is wrestled around a little. Number 18, Dave Taylor. His 15th season with the Kings. Only Bill Russell with the Los Angeles Dodgers and Jackie Slater with the Los Angeles Rams have played longer in a career involving a Los Angeles team than Dave Taylor. Maybe I should qualify that with a pro team, but Russell, the longest, and Slater and Taylor. Jackie Slater said he's going to play another season with the Rams. Dave Taylor hasn't announced his retirement either.
I think that he was a pick back in 1975. He was the 15th pick. There were 209 players picked ahead of him in the NHL that year.
Came out of Clarkson College. Never forget when he arrived here, so many of us wanted to do interviews, and the word was no, not yet. No, not yet. Dave Taylor had a tremendous speech impediment, stuttered. In fact, his nickname, even today, is Stitch. But he has overcome those problems. Just a tremendous guy.
Referee Bill McCreary, Jigs, a couple of times now had to tell Ted Green his late changes aren't working. Green trying to get Manson out on the ice, and McCreary not letting him do it.
Coaching Al Arbor, huh?
Yeah.
They're trying to. Kings get the draws. Gretzky got it back, and here's Waters sending it out in front. Broken up by Kevin Lowe. Sandstrom takes him to the boards. Lowe down trying to protect the puck. And we get another face-off in the Edmonton end of the ice.
Well, there's one area that the that the Los Angeles Kings have improved in the second period. In the first period, I don't think they won one or two face-offs. They've been doing much better, winning draws here in the second period. Kevin Lowe going back to the bench. He's down on the ice. He wants to hold the puck because he knows that if the Los Angeles Kings get a hold of it, his team will be a man short, him laying behind the net. So most players naturally try to somehow tie up the puck and stop the play.
You look at Kevin Lowe back at the bench. Missed the first 4 games of this series. Both a groin injury and a shoulder problem. The shoulder had been scoped. But able to play tonight. You talk about anxious to play. He was out of the hotel for the morning skate shortly after 9. And the visiting team didn't get on the ice here till well after 11 o'clock today. Linesman Brian Murphy is moving Corey Millen out of the faceoff. Craig McTavish just waits for somebody to come in and take the draw. Millen goes to the left side. Kerry Lanen will take this faceoff. Kerry Lanen, naturally a centerman who's been playing the wing here this season, won the draw, as you saw. The Kings end up putting it back in the net. Here's Dave Manson with it. Manson flips it high out of the zone. Waters takes it at center ice. Got it off the boards and right back into the Edmonton end. Manson in the exchange here with Ranford. Kicked loose. Buckberger off the boards. Thompson managed to control it at center ice and shoots it back in. Brent Thompson taking the place of Larry Robinson, number 19 on the Kings defense. Thompson wearing number 56. Kings again flooding the zone. Put the puck back in the net. There's Thompson in deep. Thompson around the boards. Intended for Donnelly. Went to center one. It was cleared at the defense. The Oilers failed to get it out. Waters puts it back in the net. Kerry Lanen gets tied up. Kerry Lanen protecting the puck. Donnelly comes in. The Kings dig it loose. They flip it high off the end glass, and McTavish moves it around his man, and then Donnelly took it right away from him. Kings come off the boards. Karjalainen, there's a delayed penalty call coming. Scuffling going on in the corner, and as the Oilers get control of the puck, a penalty call for a trip signaled by referee Bill McCreary. The Los Angeles Kings are getting ready to go to the power play.
No better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Skin Bracer Aftershave. Its cool, brisk tingle really gets you going. And what a great scent. Skin Bracer.
No better way to face the day. 5 minutes.
Sports Channel's 4 rules for following the NHL playoffs. First, watch the primetime game. Second, wait for score updates and join other close games as they happen. Third, stay tuned for the late game. Fourth, do it all again tomorrow night. Sports Channel America, the network home of the NHL.
Third line of the Los Angeles Kings putting some pressure on, giving the Edmonton Oilers a lot of headaches. They're not getting a lot of shots on goal, but they kept the puck constantly in the offensive zone. There's the trip by Manson. So a power play with just about 6 minutes remaining in the second period. 1-1 score. There's only been one shot on goal in about the last 6 or 7 minutes in this hockey game.
Yeah, it's become a grinding affair, hasn't it? Gretzky in the middle, Robitaille on the left, Granato on the right for Los Angeles. Coffey on one point, Charlie Huddy on the other. Some scuffling. Kevin Lowe trying to upset Tony Granato on the edge of the circle. Kevin Lowe has the circle pointed out to him.
Yeah, that's what McCreary now saying. You see that line, boys? Now this line you just can't go over until the puck is dropped. We'll teach them something new.
Kevin, we understand you've been away for a while, but here's the way it's played. Huddy with a drive off Ranford's left arm. Gretzky trying to tie up his man. The puck held in the Edmonton end of the ice. Richardson checked by Robitaille, turned on Richardson, and the two of them battled for it again. In comes Granato. Tony Granato jabbing at it, got it away from Lowe, but not to Gretzky. And it's brought out of the zone by Domfus, who's fed Murphy. Murphy over the line, pulled up on Huddy, lets Domfus handle it. Hoggood is all alone in front. They center through the feet of Hoggood, and now Rudy makes 2 saves, and the Kings come away. Boy, the Oilers with a big chance. A couple of them shorthanded. It's still a 1-1 tie. Coffey sets up the pass. Robitaille's shot is turned aside by Ranford. Robitaille to Granato, back to the blue line. This is Coffey. It slipped off his stick. Paul Coffey recovers, gave it to Blake. Now to Gretzky. Gretzky to the top of the circle. In deep. Robitaille center. Granato fanned on it. Once more, Paul Coffey sets things up at the point. Fake once. Cross ice to Gretzky. Back to the blue line. Blake ducked the shot. Granato tipped it, and it's cleared out of the zone by the Edmonton Oilers. Kelly Buchberger. Up with it is Mark Lamb. And ridden off the puck in the Los Angeles zone. Coffey has it here with 40 seconds in the power play. The pass to Robitaille. Kings have had 2 shots on this power play. Gretzky has the puck now. Cross ice. Sandstrom with a drive. Turned aside by Ranford. Gretzky off the left wing. Number 99 looking to make the pass. Being watched here by McTavish. In it goes to Robitaille. To Gretzky. Gretzky to Coffey. Let it fly, and that missed the net. Knocked down in front is Robitaille, but he's able to recover. Robitaille to Gretzky as he went back to the net. Puts it out in front. A long shot turned aside. Rebound handled by Sandstrom. Coffey trying to tuck it, and he does! Bill McCreary has not given a signal for a goal. He is up on the back of the net, indicating that it perhaps did not cross the goal line as Paul Coffey came in jabbing at it. It would appear to remain a 1-1 tie with only 4 seconds in the LA power play.
Players all trying to make their point. Bill McCreary, the difficulty here, listen, he's telling everybody, get away from me. Here's Coffey down deep. He comes quickly to the front of the net, tries to jam it in. See where the goaltender, Ranford, is. They think the puck may be underneath him. He's back in the net. Is it across the line? That was Coffey's original shot. He went, followed the puck, picked it up. Ranford having trouble getting up, and there was the jamming by Coffey. One of the Los Angeles Kings coming in You see him in the top right corner of your screen with his arms in the air. He's signaling away back at the blue line that he thinks it's in. Another look at the attempt by Paul Coffey. Easily could be, you just can't see the puck.
They're going to go to the video judge. The video replay judge, Jeff Railson, will decide on this. The off-ice officials are from San Jose.
You know, you just have to kind of read ahead of that play. You can see the players jumping. The referee looking down through the net, trying to see the puck. Ranford is back in the net.
Up in there is the video replay judge. Hopefully, he's got a better piece of videotape than we had.
Yeah, that would be a no decision on that, which would mean that there was not a goal. You have to visibly see the puck across the goal line. McCreary now, he's on a telephone to him. Here's Coffey again. There, he tried to wrap around. The puck was loose, and now watch his stick. You see him jam it? Look where Rudd. Oh, there's the puck. You could see it outside. Yeah. Weather went back in, hit him, and then came out. That would be the only way it would be a goal. We have never seen the puck in any of our plays across the goal line. You look for the expression, and I would have to think, no, there's no goal.
The indication is there'll be a face-off in the Edmonton zone. Referee Bill McCreary back for one final word with the off-ice officials, and now the announcement via the public address system. David Courtney informing everybody here that 16,005 that there is no goal, and the game is still tied 1-1 with just under 4 minutes remaining in the second period.
Kings have had 5 shots on this power play, Jigs. I don't know how many Coffey had at that point when he wrapped it around. I'd have to think at least 2. The original wraparound and then his own rebound. But the goal judge did not get the light on, and he could not see. Ranford was back in there. There they are, all peering down. Look like they're looking through the bottom of a glass boat for fish. What McCreary is really looking for under those circumstances would be a quick move by the goaltender if the goaltender thought it was across the line and him shoveling it out.
Now Manson has sprung from the penalty box. 5 shots, as Ed pointed out, on that LA power play. The puck jammed up against the boards and held long enough for a face-off. Taken in, scored at the 47-second mark of the opening period, of the second period, excuse me, and then Gretzky tied it up for Los Angeles before the 5-minute mark, and that's where we stand. Do you remember to lock the car tonight?
I'm not sure now that you remind me. Why?
I was reading yesterday that car thieves stole, are you ready for this number? 312,598 vehicles in the state of California last year, worth $1.7 billion.
I thought Massachusetts owned that particular statistic, but maybe not anymore.
That's up 14,000 vehicles from the year before. And it's just a little social note, folks.
And we're only early in the year.
Yeah, well, that was last calendar year. Yeah, right. 312,598.
I don't think they'd steal our car.
They would now with a full tank of gas.
That's right.
Long shot scooped up and held here by Ranford. They may have followed us around a little bit following this series. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you're watching it on Sports Channel America.
They must have heard the good news. Molson's 35-year history with the NHL is going to continue. Molson, bringing you Sports Channel America's exciting NHL coverage.